Sometimes after watching a Quentin Tarantino movie, I just want to go up to him sometimes and be like, bro, you alright? My big brother and my big-headed cousin have criticized me for giving away too much in my reviews. In my non-spoiler reviews, they say I still put out a lot of spoilers. So, I'm going to dedicate this portion of the review to Big Brother Taylor and Cousin China. This is for y'all. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and the ever-lovely Margot Robbie. I liked the movie. It was entertaining. Dull in some moments, but entertaining. I liked it. I give it a B-. The end. Thanks for tuning in. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video. Alright, so on with the real shit. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is Tarantino's, I believe, his 9th film. I could be wrong on that one. This is one of my most anticipated films of 2019. I cannot wait to watch this. The trailers had me pumped. I'm like, Brad Pitt, DiCaprio, and Margot Robbie in the same movie, and Al Pacino. I'm like, I'm in, done, I'm sold. I don't need to see no more trailers. This movie was good, but I didn't love it. I'm just gonna be real, I didn't love it, but I'm gonna give credit where credit's due though. Tarantino is extremely talented. The man is a brilliant filmmaker. You can watch a movie that he directed, and without even knowing he directed it, you can watch it and be like, okay, this has got to be Tarantino, because he has such a unique style of filmmaking, and the man is such an artist. Like, you know, nobody can, well, not to say nobody can copy him, because of course people can copy him, but he has his own style where he never bit off anybody, not that I know of. He just has such a unique style of filmmaking. The guy's a true artist, and I respect the shit out of his work. The problem with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that there are times where the movie just becomes really dull and bland. But what I feel he did right, he definitely captured the spirit of the 60s. Okay, the film takes place in 69 Hollywood, so he did capture the essence and the spirit of the 60s. I felt like I was in the 60s. I felt like I was watching a 60s film. So style and look, nailed it. The performances, nailed it. I think this is one of DiCaprio's best performances. I think this is even Oscar-worthy. I think Brad Pitt's performance is Oscar-worthy. Actually, I would love to see another movie with them together playing those same two characters. I really loved Brad Pitt's, what was Brad Pitt's character's name? What was his name? Cliff. Yeah, what was it? Cliff, shit, I forgot the last name. But yeah. Brad Pitt as Cliff, I think, is up there with Tyler Durden as far as Brad Pitt's best character. And DiCaprio is Rick Dalton, a struggling actor who has lost his confidence. He feels like he's a has-been, he's washed up, and he has to really dig deep inside to find the true actor, the thespian that he knows that he can be. And Brad Pitt is his driver slash stuntman slash, motivator. I love the performances in this movie. Even from the beginning with Al Pacino, I said, I can't believe I'm watching a film with Al Pacino sitting across from DiCaprio doing a scene together. I enjoyed the shit out of that. The performances was on point. The style and the look was on point. The soundtrack, on point, because it's in the 60s. It's just that there were times where the movie just came to a halt. Like, it just slowed down. Like, the energy in that first act, the energy was so contagious where I was like, man, I could watch this shit for 4 hours. But then it got to a point where it just kind of like stopped and like drug out. And I found myself getting bored a couple of times. And I know some might disagree with me and say, how can you get bored watching a Tarantino movie? I got kind of bored watching this. There were times in this film where it just became dull. It became a little bland. But then when the cool shit did happen, it fucking happened. And, okay, now I'm not going to get into spoilers, but if you saw the trailer, you know that Bruce Lee is in this movie. And there's a scene with Bruce Lee and Brad Pitt that I thought was just so fucking hilarious, where to me that was a highlight of the movie. That was the best part of the movie, was the Bruce Lee scene with Brad Pitt. Not to get into spoilers, because I can hear my cousin now. See, Shad, there you go. You're spoiling the movie. You're spoiling the movie. It's in the trailer, you dipshit. Margot Robbie's character is, you know what, there's not a whole lot to her character. She plays Sharon Tate, who is a real actress, and there's really nothing much to her character. Like, she danced a lot, she walked a lot, she spent a lot of the movie looking gorgeous. I mean, look, I'm not going to bitch about Margot Robbie's character because I could look at Margot Robbie all day. She was fucking beautiful in this film, man. Margot Robbie is like, god damn. Boy, look here, I drink your bath water. The thing I like about Tarantino's directing is that he can take a simple scene of somebody in the kitchen making himself a meal and sitting in front of the TV, and he can make it look like the coolest thing in the world. But of course, it wouldn't be a Tarantino movie with some bloodshed, and oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna shut up, I'm not gonna spoil it, but just know that if you watch Tarantino movies lately, he really gets into the macabre, man. He gets really bloody with this shit where I'm like, okay, is this dude, does he have like some suppressed anger that he just releases into his films? Because if you look at his earlier work, I mean, Reservoir Dogs was kind of, you know, was a bloody movie. Pulp Fiction had some shootouts. Jackie Brown was probably his least violent film, and actually Jackie Brown is my favorite Tarantino movie. Nothing that he's done so far has topped Jackie Brown. But it's like, since Jackie Brown, this man, the violence that this man puts in his movies is fucking, it's so brutal where it's almost cartoonish. So with that being said, sometimes I really didn't know how to take this movie. Like, it came off sometimes as a comedy, but then it got kind of serious, but then it got comedic again. And then when the violence happened, I'm like, is this movie supposed to be a comedy? But the violence was even funny. The violence was so over the top and funny where I'm like, okay, I guess this is a comedy, but you can't, well, I guess you can't categorize a Tarantino movie. You know, his style is so unique where it's all genres wrapped up into one and you still enjoy it. Overall, I did have a good time with this movie, but there were times where I did find myself getting bored and I felt some of the shit kind of fell flat. And it felt like life was sucked out of the film, but then life was put back into the film, and then it would be sucked out again, where I'm like, huh, and then I'm like, and then I'm like, huh, and then I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that was. So I find myself asking myself a couple of times, what is the point of this movie besides showing late 60s Hollywood? But I did have a good time with it, though. I don't think this is Tarantino's best work, but I did have a good time with it. So I'm going to give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a B-. So y'all, that's my grade. What did you think of the movie? What is your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie? Comment freely below. Thank you for watching. As always, this is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.